Welcome to Actual English, everyone. I am Jennifer Clyde. Thanks for tuning in. It's time for lesson 379, and today's topic is the last hurrah. For those of you that tuned in to watch lesson 378, I did tell you towards the end of our program, you're going to have to tune in to find out what the last hurrah means. So here, I'll tell you what it means. Basically, we're talking about a way to finish something, a way to end something. The last hurrah. We'll be asking people to tell us what they would like to do before they leave Korea. Of course, we'll be asking Gareth and Kelly today, and they're going to tell us about the things they would love to do or the things they want to do before they leave Korea, before they return home to their home countries. Okay? So, let's take a listen to today's actual talk conversation. Here we go.
Well, Garrett, they say all good things must come to an end. Before you leave Korea, what do you want to do?
Wow, lots of things. Spend a lot of time in the gym, Gilban, because we don't have them in Ireland. I'd love to visit Jeju again and swim in the sea. And then there's all the different types of food to try. How about you?
Well, I second the Jeju. I've never been there before. I'd like to see that.
Check it out.
I want to try the wild stuff, like the live octopus, the crazy food that I was always afraid to try. Bondeki.
Yes.
I've never tried that before. I want to try that.
Yeah.
I'd like to travel a little bit more.
Of course.
I'd like to meet some of my favorite celebrities. My friend Kim Na-young is doing very well these days.
Okay.
I'd love to see her. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to everybody, of course.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome to meet Kim Yona, but I don't
Sure.
know if that can happen.
Wow. Yeah, meeting people is important, isn't it? I'd like to spend a lot of time with my family-in-law and even the people around my neighbourhood that have played a little part in my life, even take a photo with them and stuff. And yeah, and then the food. I mean, wow, I would load up on chakalchi, the snack chakalchi or seokang. I don't know if you know those. Beautiful.
I don't like to think that I'd be losing the food, but for me, I want to try the new stuff, but I guess get my fill of the old stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
ojin and duck pop as well.
Oh, stop.
Wow.
You're making me sad.
Samgyeopsal, bossam,
Stop.
jjajangmyeon.
There is a lot of wonderful food here.
There is.
Well,
Yeah.
as I said, all good things must come to an end, but we can always visit, right?
Welcome back, everyone. Did you enjoy the conversation? So now you have a better understanding of what the last hurrah means. Now, Kelly and Gareth were talking about the things they wanted to do before they returned home to their home country. They talked about visiting certain places in Korea. They also talked about spending some valuable time with friends and maybe family they have in Korea. To do things, spend time eating, just being together. Having conversations with people, those smallest, those tiniest little things that people usually take for granted. So let's take a look at the conversation together. Here we go. Kelly says, Gareth, they say all good things must come to an end. They say, meaning people say all good things must come to an end. What does this mean? All good things. We're talking about things in general, experiences. So all good things, all good experiences, or just simply put, all experiences eventually end. There's an end to everything. Oftentimes when something good happens, you want it to last forever, to never end. When you experience something very difficult, hard, you want it to end very quickly. But we're saying good or bad, but especially even the good experiences, yes, there is an eventual end. There is a finish to it. So people say all good things must come to an end. And she asks this question, before you leave Korea, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Gareth says, wow, lots of things. And he gives examples of a few things he wants to do. Spend a lot of time in the 찜질방. Okay, so let's circle these keywords because we don't have them in Ireland, all right? I'd love to visit Jeju again and swim in the sea. That's the next one. So let's circle Jeju. Visit Jeju. And then there are all the different types of food to try. So he wants to try different types of food before he leaves to return to his home country. And then he asks the same question back to Kelly. How about you? So now we have an understanding of what Gareth would like to do before he goes back home, before he leaves Korea. Number 1, he wants to go to the 찜질방. Number 2, he wants to visit Jeju Island. Number 3, he wants to try all the different types of food. Korean food, that is. All right, let's see what Kelly said. She says, well, I second the Jeju. Let's take a look at that sentence. I second the Jeju. What does this mean? I second the Jeju? Well, second is used in the verb form here. Okay, we're not talking about first, second, third. We are not talking about the order of things. 순서 아니에요. We're talking about me too. Okay, when you want to agree with somebody, you can say, I second that, meaning me too. I agree with you. I support what you said. Okay, so it means to support or to agree with something that someone has said. So she says, I second the Jeju, meaning I would also like to visit Jeju Island, as you mentioned, as you said. I've never been there before. Aha! So for Kelly, I guess it would be her first visit to Jeju. She would like to go to Jeju before she leaves Korea. Now, Gareth says, check it out. Yes, you must go to Jeju. You must see it for yourself. You gotta go. Now, Kelly says, I want to try the wild stuff. Okay, so she's talking about wild stuff. She's talking about food here. Okay, wild means what? Of course, there are wild animals. Okay, we're talking about wild foods, wild treats, wild snacks, wild things, wild stuff. Okay, wild meaning strange, weird, unconventional. Okay. Something a bit different. So she wants to try the crazy stuff, okay? And she gives examples, like the live octopus. Okay, that is an example. I think she's talking about 산낙지, okay, live octopus. The crazy food that I was always afraid to try. So here we go. Let's circle the keywords once again. She wants to try crazy food that she's always wanted to try, but she was afraid to try. Also, 번데기. I want to try that. I would like to travel a little bit more. So she would like to travel a little bit more. I would like to meet some of my favorite celebrities. So let's circle celebrities. All right. So now we have an idea of what Kelly wants to do before she leaves Korea. Number 1, what does she want to do? She wants to try the different types of Korean food. The kind of weird but good crazy food, wild food. So try food, okay, such as 번데기 and live octopus. She also wants to travel, and she also wants to meet some celebrities. Got it? Okay, moving on. My friend Kim Byung is doing very well these days. I would love to see her. So she would like to see her friend. It's been a while. Okay, so she wants to say goodbye to everybody, of course. Say goodbye. It would be awesome to meet Kim Yeona. I think she was talking about Kim Yeona. I hope she was because, yes, let's just circle that. But I don't know if that can happen. What does she mean by that? I don't know if that can happen. She's just implying that it may be difficult to do so. Okay, she's saying maybe it's not going to be easy to actually meet Kim Yeona, but she would like to. She's hoping to have the opportunity to meet Kim Yeona. So she's continuing to say that she wants to meet her friend, Kim Myung, and also she wants to say goodbye to people, her friends perhaps, and even meet, people such as Kim Yeona. All right, moving on. Now, Gareth says, I'd like to spend a lot of time with my family-in-law. Okay, so spend time with family-in-law and even the people around my neighborhood. So people around his neighborhood, let's talk about his neighbors, okay, that have played a little part in my life. Here we go. Let's circle a pattern we have for you. Play a part in something. Play a role in something is also another way of putting it. Play a part in something, play a role in something. Basically means to participate in. Okay, to participate in something. So he's saying that he wants to spend time with his family-in-law, okay, and also he wants to spend time with people around his neighborhood, meaning his neighbors that have played a part in his life. Okay, that's made a difference, I guess. People that he's met, people that have helped him around, perhaps, people that have been kind to him. Okay, and he says, even take a photo with them and stuff. So photo is another word to circle. Sometimes if you read along, it's easier to understand and get an easy, a better understanding of the conversations by circling or marking these keywords. I hope this is helping you out. Okay, now you know what they're talking about. Let's move on. And then he says, and then the food. So food is another keyword. He says, I would load up on the snack. And he mentions two different types of snacks. I think he's talking about these different chips. And he says, I don't know if you know those. So a few more things. He wants to try the food before he leaves and also load up on these snacks. Load up. Remember, we talked about overloading on something. Okay, overloading on something, which means... That's right. If you're talking about food, it means to overeat. Eat too much of something or eat quickly, okay? So he says, I would load up on the snack 자갈치 or 새우깡, meaning I would eat lots of 자갈치 or 새우깡. And he says, I don't know if you know those. Are you familiar with these snacks? Kelly says, I don't like to think that I'd be losing the food, but yeah. She has not necessarily answered Gareth's question, but she's saying that she's definitely going to miss Korean food. I don't like to think that I would be losing the food, meaning losing the chance to enjoy these foods. I would hate to think that is what she's saying. She says, for me, for Kelly, she says, I want to try the new stuff, but I guess get my fill of the old stuff. She wants to try new stuff. Perhaps she's talking about foods that she hasn't had until now. Foods she hasn't tried for whatever reason. But she says, okay, I would like to try some new foods, but maybe I'll just stick to getting my fill of the old stuff. Get one's fill. Get one's fill basically means to have enough of something or more than enough of something. Okay, get one's fill, get one's fill, have plenty of something. So she's saying, but I guess, yeah, I'll just get my fill of the old stuff. I'll eat plenty of the old stuff. Now here we go. He's talking about food or different types of foods. He says, 오징어 덮밥 as well. Oh, wow. Gareth loves food, doesn't he? Kelly says, oh, stop, meaning stop talking about good food. Why? You're making me sad. Why is she saying you're making me sad? She's saying this because imagining herself leaving Korea, leaving all these good things behind, is kind of making her sad. Feel melancholy, right? So she says, stop that, you're making me sad. Anyhow, he continues. He says, 삼겹살, 보쌈, 짜장면. And of course, Kelly says there is a lot of wonderful food here. There's lots of delicious foods in Korea. And of course, Gareth says, yeah, there is. Moving on. Well, as I said, all good things, once again, she says, have to come to an end. But we can always visit, right? Meaning we can always come back to visit. And they seem to agree on this. Okay, so yeah, it's sad to think of leaving a certain place. not only for the different types of foods you can enjoy in Korea, but for Kelly and Gareth, I'm sure they're going to miss their friends they've made in Korea. They're going to, I guess, miss all the memories, the places they've been to, the delicious foods that they've mentioned. So, yeah, I'm sure they felt a bit sad, but, well, they can always come back and visit. Anyhow, let's take a listen to the conversation one more time.
Well, Gareth, they say all good things must come to an end. Before you leave Korea, what do you want to do?
Wow, lots of things. Spend a lot of time in the gym, Gilban, because we don't have them in Ireland. I'd love to visit Jeju again and swim in the sea, and then there's all the different types of food to try. How about you?
Well, I second the Jeju. I've never been there before. I'd like to see that.
Check it out.
I want to try the wild stuff, like the live octopus, the crazy food that I was always afraid to try. Bondeki.
Yes.
I've never tried that before. I want to try that.
Yeah.
I'd like to travel a little bit more.
Of course.
I'd like to meet some of my favorite celebrities. My friend Kim Na-young is doing very well these days.
Okay.
I'd love to see her. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to everybody, of course.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome to meet Kim Yona, but I don't know if that can happen.
Wow. Yeah, meeting people is important, isn't it? I'd like to spend a lot of time with my family-in-law and even the people around my neighbourhood that have played a little part in my life, even take a photo with them and stuff. And yeah, and then the food. I mean, wow, I would load up on chakalchi, the snack chakalchi or seokang. I don't know if you know those. Beautiful.
I don't like to think that I'd be losing the food, but for me, I want to try the new stuff, but I guess get my fill of the old stuff. You know?
Ojing and duck pop as well.
Oh, stop. Wow. You're making me sad.
Samgyeopsal, bossam.
Stop.
Jjajangmyeon.
There is a lot of wonderful food here.
There is.
Well, as I said, all good things must come to an end, but we can always visit, right?
Yeah.
It's now time for our second segment, actual expressions. Okay, if you're ready, let's take a look at these vocab words and then move on to our patterns to practice them with our sample sentences. Here we go. Second is an easy word, but notice stress goes right there, and we're talking about to second something in the verb form. So in today's actual talk conversation, Kelly said, I second Jeju, or I second the Jeju, meaning the visit to Jeju. I second that. I second that. I second that, meaning I support that. I agree with that. So some synonyms are approve, encourage, support. So you are approving to something. As in agreeing to something, you can say, I second that. It's almost the same as saying, me too, me too. I second that. Okay, try saying that the next time. What about wild? Okay, we were talking about wild stuff as in wild types of food. That's strange in a negative way. Bizarre, meaning strange as well. Weird. But wild can also have a positive meaning to it, such as fantastic. Okay? Just because you say that, let's say, a country's snacks are wild, it does not mean that it's negative or bad. It could mean that it's good as well. It's very different, unique, unconventional, fantastic, or even very strange, okay? So please do keep that in mind. What about play a part or role in something? So it's our first pattern. This means to participate in something, all right? Play a part in something, play a role in something. Let's check out a sample sentence. He played a big part in doing something, rescuing the animals. So it means that he participated in rescuing the animals. Okay? He played a role in doing something. He played a part in doing something. He participated in doing something, in other words. Moving on to our next pattern, to load up on something. This means to accumulate. Okay? To build up on something, to accumulate on something. But especially if you're talking about food, it means to eat. Okay? Usually excessively or very quickly. You can load up on something. Don't load up on snacks. Why? We have reservations at a 5-star restaurant. Okay. We're going to go to a 5-star restaurant, so don't fill your stomach with snacks. Don't load up on snacks, meaning don't eat too much. Don't eat all those snacks. Don't load up on those snacks. Okay? Moving on to our next one. Get one's fill, or even have one's fill. This means to have plenty of something. If you have plenty of something, how do you feel? Most likely, satisfied. You feel happy. I feel good. Especially if you have enough of something or more than enough, you can say, I had my fill. So once again, get one's fill, have one's fill. Here's a sample sentence. I just love jazz. I love jazz. I can never get my fill of it. I can never get my fill of it. Never is often used. Why? To express, to emphasize that you really, really like something. So when you really want to say that you enjoy something, such as jazz, say, oh, I love jazz. I can never get my fill of it. Meaning, oh, never is enough. I could ask for more. I'll never get sick of it. Okay? Let's try it one more time. I just love jazz. I can never get my fill of it. I need more of it. Okay? All right, job well done. Practice more on your own.